Which social media platform is best for advertising your business? Welcome to the Online Mastery Academy. My name is Udo Abasiofon, and I've run adverts across a lot of social media for different businesses, right? For our huge clientele. Now, you want to know what's the best social media platform for your business, and on this video we're actually going to explain that, right? We're going to explain the best social media platforms for different businesses in different industries, right? So without wasting time, let's understand the first step. Before you proceed to think about the best social media platform or ads platform for your business, one of the first things that should always come into your mind is to understand what we mean by best social media platform, right? Or ads platform. Now, the best platform is actually measured. The criteria has to be the cost per result. So, depending on your business, which platform is going to give you the cheapest cost per result as well as ability to scale. So those are the two major things to always consider. The first thing is, how much are you spending to make one sale on this platform for your particular business, for your niche, for your business industry? And the second thing is, can I scale massively with this? Right now, I'm going to actually explain this in this video. Now, I've run ads across different industries, like I said, and one thing I've discovered is that each ads platform have certain niches that there tends to give the best result, right? And that's what we're going to be explaining here. We're going to start with the fashion industry and take it all the way to the relationship industry, right? So let's actually start with fashion industry, right? Number one, fashion industry. Now, when it comes to fashion industry, you need to understand that fashion is a type of industry that deals best, right? Really focus on visuals. So the best social media platforms for anything fashion has to be those ones that allows you to use visuals, right? For example, Instagram, Facebook is there, Instagram is there, YouTube and TikTok. This is probably the most important ones to know. This is it right here: Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok and Instagram. Now, since Facebook actually owns Instagram, you can always incorporate them together. But when it comes to fashion industry, Instagram performs a whole lot better. Pinterest is also very useful. You can create a YouTube video that shows what you're doing if you are in the fashion industry. These four are very important, extremely important for you to have. And TikTok has the tendency of taking you viral, right? TikTok has a type of algorithm that can actually get your video viral. The TikTok algorithm is something that no other social media actually have. That's why it's very important for you to be on TikTok if you are in the fashion industry. Now, another thing you need to understand is that to further narrow this down, picking the best platform is not just about getting the like I said, the two criteria is getting the cheapest possible cost per result, as well as being able to scale. Now, all of these platforms actually allows you to actually scale, exception is Pinterest. Pinterest doesn't have as much users as YouTube, Instagram and the rest, right? Pinterest is like the one behind, but then Pinterest is very heavy on fashion, but then it doesn't have as much users. So when we talk about scaling has to be about the numbers of people interested in your brand that are actually using that social media, right? There are other things to also know when you're considering this. For example, you may understand that Instagram is going to give you the best profit if you're running ads on Instagram for fashion, but then picking Instagram also depends on other things. For example, how much do you have to spend? That's one criteria you need to look at. The budget. Who exactly are you trying to target to? For example, if you run ads on Instagram for fashion and you're targeting West Africa, some part of Asia and the rest, depending on whatever you're selling, right? It's not going to be that expensive. It's something that you can still afford to do, right? So you can use Instagram for paid advert, targeting countries, whichever country you have your choice. But then, if your clientele, if your customer, how do I put this, avatar, if your ideal customers are people in more advanced, more developed countries, right, with stronger economies like the United States and Europe, then running ads on Instagram is going to be more expensive than doing the same thing with Pinterest. That's where you need to get the logic. For example, let me put it down. Instagram is more expensive to reach United States and Canada and European, Western Europe. It's far more expensive than Pinterest, right? So for like about half the price, you can reach people overseas using Pinterest. But then to do that same thing with Instagram is going to cost you a lot more. So it's not just about the two criteria alone. It depends on your budget. You put in your budget, your targeted demographics, and we should have factor right there, as well as your campaign goal, right? But then your campaign goal will always be to make sell, and sometimes this can change, but that's what most businesses are after, to make sell. So the targeted demographics, the audience, the location, the country, right, actually matters in this case. Like I said, Instagram is more expensive than Pinterest. YouTube, at the other way, can also be more expensive than TikTok. So it depends. So at the end of the day, your budget plays a major role. Remember this. And like I said, if you are trying to reach out to people in countries like Africa, then Instagram is like probably the best place to go for fashion brand. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the technology industry. Typical example of technology industries are like electronic companies, and technology is very broad, by the way. People that sell gadgets, mobile devices, laptops, and all those electronic gadgets, that falls under technology. Now, there's another brand of technology that has to do with digital tech services, right? If you're rendering services, so these two things may have different digital platforms criteria. For example, if you're selling gadgets, Google Ads is very important, right? Google Ads is very important if you're selling gadgets. If your technology is the type of technology that sells gadgets, mobile devices, laptops, smartphones, smart TVs, and all that, then Google Ads is very important. Why is it very important? Well, gadgets is a type of product that someone will very likely be willing to buy than search for it. Let me explain. Unlike fashion, someone can just be there on their own. They don't intend to buy anything fashion about, like they don't intend to spend money on fashion within this week, but somehow they see your offer, you give them a very beautiful offer. It could be clothes, it could be jewelry, accessories, and all that, and it's probably too beautiful that they can't afford to miss it. They have to like try to buy it, right? That's the beauty of fashion. You can always reach out to people even when they don't have the interest in what you're selling. You can always build that interest in them, make them understand that they're going to look cute if they put on this and put on that, and as with human natures and all that, they would probably buy. Now, if you're selling gadget, it's quite different, right? It's quite different. Yeah, of course, you can still reach out to people that have zero interest in buying and they will still buy, but then it also depends on what you're selling. Let me put this down. Someone is using an iPhone 14, iPhone 15 or so, and they have zero intentions of buying an iPhone within this year again. They already have a mobile device. They have a very smart TV, and then they have so if you advertise your gadget to reach them, right? Someone is using a very good mobile device and you're advertising your gadget to reach that person again. Are you saying you should buy twice? He or she doesn't have the intentions of buying. So more likely than not, except you find a way to narrow your targeting, right? Except you find a way to make your targeting very effective, then you're going to be spending a whole lot of money reaching people that don't have any interest in purchasing what you're selling. It doesn't mean that they won't, or it doesn't mean that they don't like the product. Of course they do, But whenever someone buys, buying depends upon three major things. The first is the need for it. People buy when they feel they need this thing. The second thing is financial capability. Someone buys when they have the money. No matter how whatever you like, if you don't have the money to afford it, you can't buy it, right? So people buy when they have a need for it and they have the money. Those are like the two major things that influence buying decision: the need for it and the money. So when you target people, you think about, do they need this product? And if they need this product, do they have the money, right? And sometimes even if they have the money and they need the product, there is sometimes a third criteria: time. Is it the right time? Do they need it now, or are they going to need it next week or next 2 weeks? Right, these things actually matter. So if you're selling gadgets, Google Ads is your best bet. Google Ads is your best bet, right? It's going to give you what you need. For example, someone comes up to Google. I'm going to give you a practical example, right? Someone goes straight to Google and search, I'm trying to buy Android phone, right? Android phone with Snapdragon, right? Let's just say with with best camera. Let's say I'm trying to buy Android phone with best camera. So as you can see, from the search term that says buy phone with best camera in Lagos and then price. Now this is more for me to actually search this thing. Actually means that somehow I intend to buy a phone. And Jumia is actually spending money. This sponsor means they are advertising to be at the very top of search engine results. That way I get to see different phone prices as well as the phone models and all that. So this is actually what Google Ads does. It puts the product in front of whoever needs it, right? It puts the product right to your face. So that's like the beauty of Google Ads. So when it comes to tech, if you're selling tech gadget, then Google Ads is your best bet. Now let's put this in perspectives again. Like I said, technology is a very broad niche. Sometimes you could be offering tech services. You can still be classified under tech. Maybe you are a web developer, a digital marketer, social media advertiser, content writers, and all that. Now that type of skill actually also can work with Google Ads. But more importantly is LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is where you go to get hired remotely. So if you are offering any tech-based services online and you don't use LinkedIn, you are playing. Facebook and Twitter can also play a very major role. But one thing Twitter would do for you that Facebook will not really do for you, but Twitter can do that for you, is to get discovered from other countries. LinkedIn has that tendency, very massive part of LinkedIn has that tendency to get discovered globally. So if you're living in West Africa, Asian countries, or wherever, on LinkedIn and on Twitter, you are more likely to get jobs from outside your country, where the pay will most likely be way better. Right now, the next industry we're going to talk about is the food and beverages. Now, if you're selling food and beverages, you need to understand that this is a type of brand, a type of industry that you can actually reach out to people, right? No matter how you put it, no matter how you want to put it, everyone needs food. So everyone needs food. Food is one thing that you can just be scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. You see a very nice and beautiful food. All of a sudden you feel hungry. You feel like, wow, I love this food. How can I get it? So when it comes to food and beverage, these are the social medias that you need to look at: Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, and Yelp. Yelp specifically actually focus a lot more on food, right? But then Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, you don't need LinkedIn for food. Nobody is going to LinkedIn to eat food. Of course, food can still work on LinkedIn, but then it's not your best bet. It's not your best bet. Your best bet is Instagram and Facebook. That's where you would very likely pull up sales concerning food. Now, another thing that you actually need to know about this industry is some level of trust criteria. You need to put up your Google My Business account, have a website, and possibly have a Google My Business account that tells people your location. So when someone search for let's say restaurant close by, your Google My Business account is going to do the wonders for you. That's very important for food and beverage niche. Let's say I go to a new city, I don't know anywhere in that city, and I'm trying to get food. What am I going to do? I'm going to use Google Map. I'm going to use Google Map. And when I use Google Map, what will I do with Google Map? I will read the ratings. People normally leave comments based on their experience. I will read the ratings. If the experience from other people sounds good, better, then I will simply search for that restaurant and then try to locate it using the Google Map. Right? This actually works. So like I said, Yelp is a platform that actually focuses a lot more on that type of niche. You can see restaurants, dentists, bars, and beauty. So you can see that restaurants is the first thing Yelp is listed here. So if you are actually in the food and beverage niche, then you want to take a look at Yelp. Like I said, something else that is really very important with that niche is Google My Business account. So I can say restaurant in Lagos or restaurants near me. That's what I would very likely search for. Restaurant near me. Assuming I go to a new city, right? Now, if I search for restaurant near me, you can see now if I use my precise location, the search result would likely change. Google is going to give me search results based upon the location I pick. So I'm not going to allow that because I don't really want Google to track my location, right? So this is what I would very likely do if I go to a new city and I'm trying to buy food. Come to Google My Business and check for food near me. Then I would just click on more places. When I click on more places, I would look for the ones that have a high rating, okay? Because I don't want to eat some terrible food. I want to enjoy some really good food. So I'm going to look for something that has a good rating. I think this has 1.1k. What this means? Over 1,000 people have dropped. Well, on a very honest level, I've actually never been to this place, but then it looks like a lot of people have dropped response concerning this. Now I can decide to take my time to read the review from people who have actually been here. Okay, this is direction. I can locate this place. The prices are there. So this is very important if you're selling food. You can see more Google reviews. This is what people are saying. This one says nice food and ambience, great parking space. So if I was driving, then I'm very sure now that wow, I have a space I would park my car. This one says, please screen your workers in the Cotton College bus stop. The place is not like this. So what you're saying here is that the workers in this particular location is a bit harsh, right? A bit rude or whatever. This one says the rice is banger. So this is very important if you're selling food. If you're in the food and beverage industry, you want to put your business on the Google Map. Very important. If your business is not on the Google Map and you're selling food, you are playing. Nothing you will tell me you are playing. If it's not on Google Map and you're selling food, then you're playing, right? The next business we want to look at is the health and fitness. Now, without even wasting time, health and fitness, one of the best places to even think about is YouTube. Okay, YouTube. That should be your number one. YouTube. Say whatever you want to say. There are many platforms out there, but YouTube is number one when it comes to health and fitness. Why is it number one? Let me show you why. A practical reason why YouTube is number one. You come straight up to YouTube, right? You go over to YouTube and you open the YouTube studio. Now, if you have any specific, like if you want to check for anything concerning health, right, just come over to YouTube, make a search. People trust result they get on YouTube more than whatever search they make elsewhere. Let me give you a reason. Because on YouTube, that's where the censorship on health niches is not that high, and people are going to drop their experience. So if you're talking about health and fitness, or you're talking about fitness tips, how to lose weight, and people have actually benefited from what your video says or what your brand does, they are going to leave a comment. People normally read those YouTube comments. In fact, as a rule of thumb these days, people are more likely to read a comment first before they even watch a YouTube video. So you can see how to lose weight without how to lose weight without exercise. Don't mind me, it's practically a crazy thing to think, right? You don't want to lose weight without exercise, please. You want to make sure that you exercise and then you lose weight. Okay, so this is YouTube. This is like the power of YouTube. The science in exercise isn't the best way to lose weight. Now, this has like 12 million views. People normally love these types of videos. right? How to lose weight without exercise, but I don't recommend it because you actually want to exercise. Either you lose weight or not, it's actually very healthy to exercise. Now, 12-minute weight loss fast, 222,000 views. So this is where you put your resources, and it's going to stay for as long as time permits, right? 1.5 million view intermittent fasting for weight loss. So this is where it happens on when it comes to a health niche. YouTube is very powerful. This one says 10 days challenge, 10 minutes. So you can see the views. The beauty of this is that when you open this,
and welcome back to this US Open office.
You can see people are dropping comments, interacting with the content too. Like someone comes over here and they rate your videos are great. I've been searching for this and that. You get that's where they build the trust. The trust is not on the video. The trust is on the comment section. When people say, wow, I tried this and I got results, that's where the trust is, right? So when it comes to health and fitness, YouTube is number one. Everything else can follow. Google Ads can be useful if you have a gym, right? If you have like, a fitness gym subscriptions and all that, then Google Ads can be very useful. Also, Google My Business is also useful. Instagram and Facebook can come along because you want to be able to reach new people and then send them to your website, right? Now, when it comes to tourism and travel, what's the best possible thing for tourism and travel? I'm sure you've seen that already. Tourism and travel, that's Google Ads, TripAdvisor, Facebook, and Instagram. Typical example of tourism and travel niche is airlines and hotel. Now, when it comes to hotel, nothing beats Google My Business account. In fact, there are some businesses that Google My Business account is very important. It's just sad that it's not here. It's not right here, but it's very important. Google Ads is different from Google My Business account too. Google My Business account is even more better, even far superior than somehow is like the basic criteria before you even think of running Google Ads. If you're actually running this type of business, an hotel or airline, Google My Business is the basic. Without the basic, the advanced is Google Ads. Google Ads is the advanced. Google My Business is the basic. Without the basic, you are playing. So you want to make sure that you have Google My Business first before you think of Google Ads. But all the same, travel and tourism has to do with Google. Let me explain why. The reason is very simple. You go to a new place. Whenever someone that is tech oriented travels to a new place, he or she will definitely make use of Google Map. Yeah. So, in fact, nearly everyone on earth today is actually using Google product. As long as you go to Google to search, do whatever, you're using Google product. But Google My Business is whenever you go to a new place and you don't really know your way around that city and you want to get the best hotel you can get, what do? You use Google My Business. Let me show you a typical example of what I'm saying. Now I can come right over here and say best affordable. Okay, best affordable. This is hospitality business near me. Okay, best affordable. Now I want to be able to know the price, what I'm paying for, and how it's going. Now you can see someone is actually paying a lot of money to be at the very top of Google, right? This is sponsored Google Ads. But then when you scroll down, all the results here, these are from Google My Business. These are Google My Business. What do I do first? First thing I would do, I'll check the rating. And I'll check the price. Okay. Wow, this price is 203 people have dropped 4.0 rating. This one says 4.1 rating. And I've seen the building. Without even going there, I've already seen the building. This one looks a lot better, more luxurious. So the price there is I think it starts from 13,000 naira, right? 13,680 naira. I mean, considering the building, the 4.1 ratio, it has the higher. I can click over here, view 328 results to see a lot more. But then I'm just going to come straight right here and make my decision. My decision is based upon whatever comments people are leaving. People are going to say, I was here last December and I enjoyed the experience. Or people are going to say, I was here last week and and the manager was very rude. So once I know the manager was very rude, I won't go there. But then if the experience from someone else was better, then I would very likely go there. So Google My Business is number one platform you want to think about if you are in the travel and tourism niche, right? Now, automotive car manufacturers. This is another company, another industry that you really want to focus heavily on discovery, YouTube discovery, Instagram discovery, Facebook discovery. Now, Google Ads and Google My Business are also very important, but you want to really focus on discovery. Let me give you why. Automotive business, car manufacturers or car sellers or car resellers or dealers. One thing about this type of business model is this: that customer that will very likely buy from you today has been following your content for that time. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, for like, you want to make a sell, you are very likely to sell to a customer that has been following your content over time. For example, if you have a YouTube channel where you always review cars, talk about cars, sound very experienced, sound like you know what you're saying, right? Very, very experienced. Then that guy, that boy that is following you, that has been observing your content, watching your content, liking your content, when that boy wants to get his dream car, is very likely going to buy from you. Why? Because he has been following you up. That's why discovery. And when I talk about discovery, it's not like you're trying to push sales every time. No, you don't push sales. There are some niche that you don't need to like go out all the way and push sales. There are some, in fact, nearly all the industry in today's world, pushing sales is the wrong way to go. You push out education. Every industry is very important. You push out education, content. But in automotive industry, education is like the key content there. You want to come over to YouTube, make a video that says, for example, your video should be like 5 reasons you shouldn't buy. That's a crazy headline, right? You want to make a content like 3 reasons or 3 things to consider before you buy a car, right? 3 things to consider before you buy a car. 5 reasons you shouldn't buy so brand, and then, but you don't want to condemn someone's brand for real, except you and that brand has personal beef or your personal experience with the brand was not good. Then you can actually make a review video, or my experience using Hyundai Elantra, my experience using Hyundai Elantra for the last 3 years. So you tell people your experience. That way, someone that had the intention of buying a Hyundai Elantra would very likely listen to you. Then if the experience was good, they can decide. And more likely than not, when they decide, they can actually also decide to buy from you. Now, next stage we're going to talk about is education, right? Education. Like I've already said, every niche, first of all, needs to push out education, and sometimes just content. So educational content is very important and can also be applicable to nearly every other niche. Now, what type of platform is best for educational content? You want to look at YouTube. YouTube comes first here. Then we have LinkedIn, Google Ads, and then Facebook. But Google Ads, yeah, Google Ads is actually a good one, but YouTube comes really first. Someone is very likely to go to YouTube when they are serious about learning. So YouTube comes first here. Then LinkedIn follows up, and then Google Ads and Facebook comes up, right? Now, real estate. This is a very important niche, real estate. And I've seen a lot of people make mistake when it comes to real estate niche. Now, real estate is one of those niches that is very similar to automotive in the way that you push content. What do I mean? Someone don't just wake up one morning, see your offer, and they buy from you. Anyone in the real estate industry knows what I'm saying. Sometimes you follow up a client for 2 years. You get for 2 years before they decide to buy from you. And why did they not buy from you within those 2 years before they finally decide to buy? Why? Number one, maybe because they were not able to afford what you had at that time. Number two, maybe they couldn't make a decision at that time, or maybe They just didn't need. There was no need for it at that time. But then, with time, everyone is going to need, a piece of property. You want to invest in properties, and then just like automotive, if you have the money and you live in a city where it's better to drive than not, then you very likely need to buy a car at some point. So real estate is one industry that you push out content to. You push content out. You want to keep people, either they buy from you or not. You just want them to know you. Let them know they can trust your company. Very important. They want to know that you won't run away with, whatever they invest with you. Because, it's very risky. Real estate is like high price business. So when a business involves, high financial requirement, then the risk goes with it, right? Real estate may be one of the businesses that the risks, the actual risks involved in losing that property if you buy from a reliable firm is not that high. But then considering the amount you're actually investing, then it's risky. You get the concept? It's risky. You invest $100,000, $50,000 in a piece of property, right? That piece of property may actually be there for years and years and years if it is legitimate. Now, but then if something goes wrong, the business was not legitimate one, or you get scammed in the process, then the risks, that's a very high, that's some huge amounts of money you will be losing. So you want to be very careful when you invest in things like real estate. And that's why you as a business want to build trust. You want to be out there. You want people to know you are into real estate and you are not running away. That's the whole point of the business. Let people know you and know that you are not running away, right? So what social platforms, what digital platform is best for real estate? You have platforms like Zillow and Realtor.com that is specially drafted for real estate companies. You also want to have a Google My Business account, very important. Then every client that buys from you, always try to get a feedback from them, right? Because the next buyer needs to do all those due diligence before they buy. They would very likely go to your Google My Business account and check if clients are always complaining or if clients are always happy, okay? And you also want to be using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for discovery, because you want new people to discover you, right? Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Very likely, if you can, you incorporate TikTok for even more discovery. So real estate is one business that you're not trying to push sales. Like I said, of course, once in a while you run sales ads, but then the most important goal is to push awareness. You want people to be aware of the business, to be aware of you, so that when you are now running ads, you're now running ads to people who are already aware of you. That's the people that will very likely buy. That's the concept of the business. You want to first of all create awareness. Let people know I exist. So if at some point 100,000 people know about you, you exist, they know that you are a real estate firm, you are a reliable real estate firm, then after some time, if you have a good offer, you can say, wow, we're selling this plot at this price. You target people that already know about you. That way, it will be easy for them to make a decision. They can easily decide to buy as long as the money is there. They already know you can be trusted. Someone in overseas, someone abroad can actually buy, like someone in a different country can buy real estate back home, can buy from your company, even if they are not there to inspect the property. But once they have that trust, they know that you are always out here, you're not running away with someone's money, then they very likely know that, okay, fine, I can pay this guy for this property and I will have peace of mind. Because nobody wants to invest where they don't have peace of mind. So as a real estate company, Facebook, Instagram, Zillow, Realtor.com, those platforms, Zillow and Realtor.com, is drafted for you. You also want to have your own website, very important. Nearly all the business requires your own website. You need to have your own website. It's very, very important, your online presence. You also want to have a Google My Business account. But for real estate company, it's even more required to have a website, because that's one of the things that people will be like, oh, wow, they have a site, I can get more information and they trust you more. Now we're going to talk about entertainment. So what happens with entertainment? Well, as we all know, there are platforms that are built specifically just to entertain people, right? One of those platforms that is very heavy on entertainment is TikTok. TikTok is very heavy on entertainment. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, entertainment. So if you push out music, you push out movies, then you want to look into YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Now, there are some musicians that don't look into Facebook. All right, I know a lot of musicians that are not on Facebook. A lot of artists, entertainment artists, they don't use Facebook. They only do Instagram, YouTube, and some of them TikTok. Now, let me give you one hint. One thing you should know is that Facebook has far more users than Instagram. I don't care what anyone else says, that's the truth. I've seen this from statistics from the ads I've been running over time. Facebook have a lot more users than Instagram, but what's the difference? Quality. The users on Instagram are like, you can't say that, I don't want to use the term like they have more quality than the users on Facebook, but then the purchasing power on Instagram is higher than that of Facebook. So people on Instagram are more likely to have more purchasing power than people on Facebook. For whatever reason, I don't know. Sometimes it's always the same user, but once they go to Instagram, they know that Instagram is, it's not basic. Instagram is like more advanced platform. It's more advanced than Facebook in a way. And the purchasing power is sometimes higher. Like most times higher, right? Just that it doesn't have as much user. Of course, it's owned by the same platform, but Facebook has far more users than Instagram. So if you're into entertainment and movies, music, all this entertainment type of platform, news entertainment is also there, then you don't want to exclude any of these platforms. Now, for artists like musicians, there are other platforms that are very also important for you. Platforms like, getting your, if you are an artist actually, getting your songs on Spotify. Spotify is like the biggest streaming platform out there, right? Getting your songs on Spotify, on Apple Tunes, Amazon Music, Tidals, and all those platforms. But then to do that, you will need to have a distributor, right? You need to have a distributor like DistroKid, which other guys are Muse, TuneCore, and the rest. Okay? But that's for people into music. I'm very sure if you're into music, you already know this. You know that you need to distribute your songs to all those platforms, as many platforms as possible. And there are also platforms that allows you to actually sell. This is strictly for those doing music, right? There are platforms that allows you to sell your music straight up. Platforms like Bandcamp. Let's take a look at this Bandcamp I'm talking about. Bandcamp allows you to actually just sell your song, just sell it off, sell the album for money. And as an artist, you would very likely make more money from Bandcamp than you will make from those streaming platforms. If your fans love you that much, very important. So if you have a very good fan base, this is says fans have paid artists 1.2 billion using Bandcamp and 194 million in the last year. You see how much fans have paid artists, and it's like a direct payment. Unlike the streaming platforms where the middleman, the streaming platforms and the distributor, they're going to take a cut of the money. Bandcamp doesn't actually cut the artist's money direct. So if you want to support your favorite artist directly, then Bandcamp is where your artist gets a huge share of whatever you are supporting them with, right? That's that for entertainment. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is financial. You can't talk about financial institute without talking about Twitter, right? If you want to complain to any bank, investment firm, fintech companies, and you want them to attend to you very fast, Twitter is always the way to go. What does that mean? That means that Twitter has power. Twitter is very effective when it comes to financial niche. And also, users on Twitter tends to have a good purchasing power, right? Users on Twitter tends to be people that have a good purchasing power. So if you like in the financial niche, then you don't want to exclude Twitter by any means. Now, one thing I want you to understand about this list is not that you should limit yourself to the platforms here. No, we are trying to point out the priorities. Every platform has priority. Financial niche, your priority is Twitter. You really want to be there. Okay, you really have to be there. But then again, you also need to be on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Google. Very important. You need to be on those platforms. But then you can't exclude Twitter if you are in the financial niche. Why? Because a lot of your users are going to be there. Twitter is where a lot of corporate organizations in the financial niche are making things happen, right? Now, the last we're going to look at is relationship, okay? Now, relationship is very similar to fashion in a way, but then quite different. So the things that works for fashion will very likely also work for relationship. What am I saying? Relationship niche is very broad, but then if you want to talk about things like selling gold jewelry, rings, diamond rings, like whatever gifts you can give to someone you love, I think that's about relationship niche. And all those, most of those gifts, most of the things that we give to our loved ones are fashion based, right? Are things that has to do with fashion. So like Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, these are things that works for fashion. They will also they will also be very effective working for the fashion niche, for fashion industry. So if you are in the relationship industry, you want to look at Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and TikTok. That's if you're selling those things I talk about, those type of accessories, and then things like gift box and most things that we normally give to loved ones. Like I said, always revolves around fashion. So that's about that for relationship niche. Now there's one niche we haven't talked about, is cryptocurrency, decentralized coins, and that. Now when it comes to cryptocurrency and decentralized coins, like everything that has to do with cryptocurrency, I'm pretty sure we all know the number one platform for that, nothing other than Telegram. So when you talk about Telegram, the first thing that comes into the average user's head is cryptocurrency. So if you have anything to do with cryptocurrency as a niche, as an industry, then you don't have to exclude Telegram. Telegram has a huge database of users that are very interested in cryptocurrency, right? Very interested in cryptocurrency, anything related to cryptocurrency. Now, this can also include things like forex and stock trading. Telegram is also very powerful with this. So cryptocurrency, Telegram. That's about that. That's what you need to know about the different niches and different industry, as well as the best platforms for ads. Remember, the best platform is not just about what's on your mind, like what you want to do. It's more about which platform gets you the most sell. If you're running ads on those platforms, okay, fine. If you're spending money, how much are you spending? So the best platform is the one that gets you the cheapest cost per result, as well as the one that gets you the ability to scale. Now, let me give you an hint. There's a platform I haven't included here, which is Quora. I haven't talked about Quora. Now, Quora is very effective in advertisement. I've advertised on Quora over a long period of time, and it's very effective. But then Quora has one major problem: scaling. You can be making sales on Quora at a very cheap price, selling whatever it is you're selling on Quora, quality traffic, but you can't really scale that much. There is a limitation to how much you can scale on Quora. Why? They don't have that amount of users. The amount of people using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Quora does not have that. But then their ads is very effective, but you cannot really scale over a long period of time. That's why it's not really in this list. But then it's very, very effective, but it doesn't really scale that much. And what I mean scaling, I'm not talking about 100 sales. I'm talking about making thousands and thousands of sales. Quora can get you your first 100 sales at a good price, but you may not be able to scale further because of its limited user database. It doesn't have as much user as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube does. So that's about that on this program. Now, if you want to learn more about advertisement, we're going to make a series of videos showing how to set up ads on different platforms for each of these industries. So if you want to learn how to set up ads for different industries on different of these platforms, like the video, follow this channel, and stay updated so you don't miss the next video.